Hey guys, want to show your support to the channel and get some awesome rewards at the same time? Then go check out my Patreon page where at whatever tier you choose that fits your budget, you'll get plenty of rewards such as updates and announcements on the regular, exclusive sneak peeks of my videos before they go up online, get yourself credited, and receive a special shout out at the end of my videos and more. Go to patreon.com/Ackleyattack427's to start pledging today. And don't forget to also check out and consider gifting me any items I have listed on my Amazon wishlist and even supporting me on my Streamlabs tipping page that'll also help support the channel directly. Links are in the description box below as well as on my link tree for you to check out. Thank you and enjoy today's video. Take care. Hey guys, like what we do on our channel and want to see more videos from us? Then not to worry about a thing. Go ahead and hit that subscribe button as well as turning on the notification bell so that way you can see more of our videos coming up very soon. Thank you and enjoy today's video. Hey guys, this is Ackleyattack4427 here with a brand new thoughts video for all of you guys, and well, I guess pretty much of anything, well, happy Labor Day, everybody. So yeah, I guess pretty much of anything, that's pretty much how I'm kickstarting this brand new thoughts video. I just want to wish all of you guys not just a happy Labor Day for sure, but also the 1st of September as of now. So yeah. And surprisingly enough, seeing how August is already behind us as we speak. Yeah, you definitely know what that means, right? Some point around later this month, the cold weather is about to kick in, and fall will be on the horizon as of now. And to all the parents out there, well, I do hope you'll have a good time sending your kids back to school for sure. So yeah. It's pretty much what I can say, of course, that front for sure, and yeah, and I kind of figure for today's thoughts video, well, I guess pretty much since after what I've been through a couple weekends ago, pretty much seeing Freakier Friday, and decided to take a couple weeks off from seeing new movies on the big screen. And trust me when I say the last thoughts video that I did on an unlikely fandom really helped bridge the gap for sure. Yeah, looks like I'm finally out of course, pretty much my hiatus from seeing new movies on the big screen, and surprisingly enough, I've actually found myself a pretty good one for me to actually check out for sure, and so yeah, I guess it's after the previous thoughts video, it's back to basics with these regular old thoughts videos for sure, so yeah. And I guess a lot of you guys are wondering, what am I going to be covering, you may ask? Well, here's something you never thought you hear from me for sure. I guess for today's movie we're going to be talking about, how about a little something that's given to us that actually goes by a certain name and a certain company that you may or may not have heard of that goes by the name, pretty much the names of Lloyd Kaufman and Troma Entertainment. Yeah, I think it looks like we're definitely into that territory for sure, and yeah, not just that. I guess I give it to this latest movie that I just saw. It's not only given by these two, but also, let's say, the same studio that gave us the Terrifier movies. Yeah. And if the latter that I actually mentioned made you think I'm finally covering a little something from Cineverse, actually, you're correct on that. So, I mean, come on, if I can actually have a ball seeing a catch-up entertainment movie for this year, surely I think a Cineverse movie will actually do just fine for sure, and definitely my first go at it for sure. So, boy, I guess if anything, 2025 is certainly a year for some really interesting firsts for me for sure. I mean, yeah, first catch-up entertainment, now Cineverse. What could be next? So So yeah, but regardless on that, given to those that I've actually mentioned for sure, I think it looks like for today's movie, it actually does require a nice little cleanup of course, some toxic waste that's been left behind for sure. And given to that little hint alone, I think it would pretty much get you the idea of course, what I'm talking about for sure. So yeah, and but in case you're actually quite curious, I think it's about time that we clean up the mess for sure with, of course, today's movie that I actually got to see very recently, which is none other than The Toxic Avenger. So yeah, that's of course what I'm going to be talking about here today. Not only is this the latest film that just came out not too long ago, but it's also a remake of course, the 80s cult classic that goes by the same name, The Toxic Avenger. So yeah, it's pretty much what I can say, of course, that front. Alright. Alrighty then, well, before I could go ahead and talk about this latest movie, well, I guess pretty much of anything, what can I say about the Toxic Avenger that a lot of people haven't already for sure? Pretty much of anything, when you think of some pretty much well-known Troma films for sure, and that's going pretty much a long ways back, that's of course pretty much created by both Lloyd Kaufman, who of course we all know and love, and of course his partner Michael Hurst for sure. Yeah, when it comes to multiple films and multiple films that Troma has actually done for sure, yeah, there's no doubt in my mind, The Toxic Avenger is definitely the one that really comes into mind when you think of a Troma film for sure. And it is actually for a good reason, pretty much from what I can gather. The 1984 classic definitely needs no introduction for sure. It is, of course, pretty much the one film back in the 80s for sure that really deserved its cult following ever since it first came out for sure. So yeah. And even I had a really good time finally getting the chance to see it for sure. And yeah, it really does hold up quite well for sure. So yeah, pretty good acting, some really nice makeup and effects and stuff that they actually did for sure. And yeah, even has a really pretty much a really impressive story that really actually has a lot going for hands down that I can really get behind in its entirety. So yeah, it is of course an 80s icon nonetheless for sure that definitely needs no introduction for sure. And of course pretty much, like I said, its cult following is really well deserved, in my opinion, for sure. You name it, ranging from, of course, pretty much 3 sequels to a video game to a comic book series, and even a children's cartoon series, and of course, in the subject of today's thoughts video, the remake that we actually got. So yeah, that's pretty much what I can say, of course, that front. So yeah. Pretty much of anything, when me and everyone else pretty much heard the news about a remake being worked on for, of course, this movie, yeah, I'm pretty sure a lot of us have actually reacted the same way that we all react when we heard that a remake is coming out. It was betraying what was good about the original. Don't fix what's not broken, and, well, you kind of get the idea. It's the internet. Everyone can react that way when it comes to a remake of a classic film. But however, when I actually first saw the trailers for, of course, pretty much this remake by far, I will admit, I, alongside everyone else, seem to be very open-minded of course, this one for sure. Yeah, pretty much not only pretty much trying to do its own thing, but also want to keep the same love and spirit of the original hands down. So yeah, in a strange way, I actually was surprisingly interested in actually seeing this movie for sure. So yeah, and luckily enough, I did manage to finally take the time today and actually officially go and see this movie for myself. All thanks to the kind people at Crown City Cinemas, as always. You guys rock. So So yeah, and well, now that I've officially got back from, of course, seeing it, I guess a lot of you guys may be wondering, what do I think of this movie now that I finally got the chance to see it? Well, I guess you're going to be quite surprised to hear me say this. I really enjoyed this movie. Yeah, I'm completely serious. I actually do find this movie to be actually pretty damn good for sure. And I really do mean that in the best possible way for sure. So yeah, it not only succeeds pretty well in, of course, doing its own thing pretty much hands down, but it also has the same pretty much charm as, of course, the original hands down, and yeah, pretty much of anything, I think it actually does deliver on that quite well for sure. I mean, yeah, I still really enjoyed the original for sure. Well, I guess for this movie, I really do think it is actually a very solid remake, in my opinion, for sure. So yeah, pretty much, if anything, I actually really like this movie for what it is. So yeah, that's pretty much what I can say, of course, that front. Alrighty. Alrighty then, well, now that I've actually got the short version out of the way, I guess I'll go ahead and talk about everything that I need to talk about for sure. For starters is, of course, the story, and yeah, with, of course, what I'm actually seeing by far, I really do think the story in this movie is actually structured out quite well for sure, right? Yeah, literally from what I've actually seen, I really do think they really have a lot going for to making its own thing hands down, and I really do love on how much they really put a lot of hard-working effort to really make the story actually work for sure. And I mean, yeah, there are a few bumps here and there that prevented this movie from hitting the mark for sure. But at the end of the day, I really do think they really have a lot going for hands down, and I really do follow through on what they actually did to really try to make this movie work for sure, and yeah, I think they accomplished that quite well for sure. So yeah, and not only that, I also found the writing, I have to say, to also be crafting out very well for sure, and yeah, I do kind of notice a few bumps here and there, pretty much in a few parts of the writing for sure, but I really do like what they actually crafted for sure to really make this stand out very well for sure, and I really do admire on what they actually did from what I can gather, that I can easily follow through just fine for sure. So yeah, that's pretty much what I could say for that aspect alone. And the comedy, I have to say, yeah, I will admit, a good number of the jokes and comedic bits, I will say, actually did get a good laugh out of me for sure. I mean, okay, don't get me wrong, not every joke actually pretty much is a massive, pretty much hit for sure, that would actually pretty much get itself way out of the park for sure. But a few good number of them, from what I can gather, I actually did get a good laugh from what I can gather, and yeah, again, I really do admire on the hard-working effort they did to really try to make this work for sure, and yeah, pretty much for what it is, I think they did do a really fine job, of course, that front for sure. So yeah, that's pretty much what I can say for the story, the writing, and the comedy for sure, right? Pretty much of anything, some parts of it I do think could have been worked out a whole lot more to make it outstanding for sure, but I really do like on the nice approach they actually did to really make this quite nice for sure, and yeah, I was impressed with, of course, what they actually accomplished for sure. So yeah, it's pretty much what I can say, of course, that front. Alrighty then, well, now that I've actually got those out of the way, I guess I'll go ahead and move on to the next couple of things I need to talk about for sure. To which next up is, of course, the characters, and yeah, I really do admire on what they actually did to really make the characters work in this movie for sure. Literally from what I've actually seen by far, I do think they are given such nice development all the way to actually make them likable and interesting for sure. And I was really engaged with, of course, their traits, their personalities, and their flaws that they need to overcome for sure. So yeah. Pretty much of anything, I really do root for the good number of characters they actually showing off in this movie to really make them work quite well, and I was really intrigued with what they actually did for sure. So yeah, pretty much if anything, I really do think they did do a really good job with the characters for sure, and I'm impressed with, of course, what they actually did. And as for the actors that came on board to play all these characters, yeah, there's no doubt in my mind, they've got a really great number of actors to come on board to play all these characters, and I really do think they pulled off such really great performances, in my opinion, for sure. So yeah, and I guess for starters, pretty much for the Toxic Avenger himself, who in this movie is played by Peter Dinklage. Yeah, I will have to say, I have mad respects for Peter Dinklage as an actor for sure, and yeah, he was a massive standout playing the title character in this movie for sure, and yeah, I'm really impressed with, of course, pretty much on what he actually did to make his character work for sure, and yeah, I really do applaud his commitment all the way, and I think he really portrayed the role quite well for sure. And it's not just Peter Dinklage as well. Two other actors, I will have to say, are also massive standouts in, of course, this movie and giving us such really great performances, in my opinion, for sure. Those being both Elijah Wood and, of course, Kevin Bacon for sure. Seeing these two on screen really do stand out very well for sure, and I really do admire their performances all the way in this movie. They really nailed it out of the ballpark with, of course, their roles hands down, and I really do admire their commitment in this movie for sure. So yeah, that's pretty much what I can say for the characters and the actors for sure. Yeah, pretty much of anything, the characters, I will have to say, are developed quite well to make them likable and interesting, while the actors, I will have to say, definitely pulled off such really great performances, in my opinion, that I really do think stand out quite well. So yeah, it's pretty much what I can say, of course, that front. Alright, so yeah, that's pretty much all I can say for those two, hands down. So yeah, now that I've got those two out of the way, what else is there for me to talk about? Actually, quite a whole lot for sure, and well, seeing if how I do know this pretty much marks as a superhero black comedy movie for sure. Pretty much the Toxic Avenger also is also categorizing, of course, the horror genre for sure. Yeah, the horror genre for sure. So yeah, and of course, speaking of that, I think we might as well move on to the next aspects when it comes to a horror movie, and that being, of course, well, the tone and atmosphere for sure. So yeah. I will have to say pretty much of anything, the tone and atmosphere, of course, of this movie, I really do think is actually very nicely done for sure. I really do love the really nice approach they actually did in, of course, this movie, and I really do think it actually works quite well from what I've actually seen for sure. And I mean, don't get me wrong, the tone and atmosphere in the original is still done pretty well. It fits in well with the whole 80s vibe for sure. And I will say the tone and atmosphere in, of course, this remake by far, I do think is a massive step up for sure. And it actually fits in well within this time period from what I can gather for sure. almost like you're seeing something from, like, say, pretty much an early film from, say, Quentin Tarantino, or a really good movie directed by Rob Zombie, for sure. So yeah. At least it's what I can gather, for sure. And I really do admire what they actually did, for sure. And of course, the production design, of course, this movie, for sure. I really do think they really did an impressive job with, of course, the production design, of course, this movie, for sure. I think with, of course, each and every set piece they actually built, to the locations they've actually picked out, for sure. I think it I really do think it is actually very impressive to see on screen, for sure, and yeah, it really does help establish the whole world that this movie actually takes place in, for sure. So yeah, pretty much of anything, I really do think they did an impressive job with the location scouting and set pieces they've put together, for sure. And of course, probably I think one of my all-time favorites in this movie is that the makeup that they actually worked on, for sure. That alone is freaking phenomenal, hands down, for sure. I guess if anything, I have seen plenty of movies with really great makeup that they've actually put together. And this movie alone really did an impressive job, of course, that front. Literally from what I've actually seen, they really put a lot of hard-working effort to make the characters look good, hands out. And the makeup really did an impressive job, of course, that front. Like, pretty much seeing Peter Dinklage and, of course, all that prosthetics and stuff, I really do believe he actually does look like the Toxic Avenger, for sure, and that alone is also done very well, for sure. So yeah, that alone is, of course, what I can say on that front, for sure. Yeah, the makeup they did is just absolutely amazing and truly worth the upgrade compared to the original, for sure. So yeah, and of course, let's not forget to mention pretty much of anything, the amount of kills that they actually showed off, to even pretty much the amount of blood, gore, and even graphic imagery that they actually shown off in, of course, this movie. Yeah, pretty much of anything, there's no doubt in my mind that they actually can range from over the top to off the fucking hook, hands down, for sure. And yeah, that alone is also pretty much done very well, in my opinion. And normally I would say that it almost seems like it's actually worth the R rating, for sure. But seeing how they did pretty much advertising as being unrated, for sure, I literally have no idea what to say to that, hands down. And yeah, regardless of course, on that front, I still think they did an impressive job, of course, on that front, for sure. And they really did justify it to make it actually look quite nice and realistic at its best, for sure. But thankfully, they didn't go all out, of course, all those that I've actually mentioned, because even if they did, then this movie would have gotten itself an NC-17 rating, for sure. Yeah. But yeah, thank God they actually kept all those for, of course, pretty much all those that I mentioned to just the bare basics that makes it worth the pretty much either an R rating or, of course, an unrated movie, for sure. Otherwise, that would have been too much. I mean, yeah, it's okay, pretty much, if you can show off your blood, gore, and graphic imagery as best you can, for sure. But if you actually do more, pretty much more of that, hands down, then, well, I think it will be a little traumatizing for the 17-year-old, hands down, so. But yeah, either way, I'm glad they didn't pretty much go all out, pretty much, and be more off the hook, of course, on that front. Because yeah, even if they did that, then I think this movie would have gotten itself an NC-17 rating, for sure. To which I'm glad they didn't, for sure, and they actually kept it as best as they can for, of course, this one. And And yeah, I'm glad they actually did that for sure. So yeah. But I digress, hands down. So yeah. And of course, moving on from all of that, another thing I should mention is that the visuals and the effects, I have to say, that alone is also done pretty well for sure. And yeah, I really do admire on what they actually did to really help blend in with, of course, the film's surroundings for sure. And yeah, I think it actually makes it all the more incredible, in my opinion, for sure. That I really do think they really put a lot of hard-working effort on, for sure. So yeah, that's pretty much what I can say, of course, that front. And of course, the direction in this film from the film's director, yeah, I will have to say, yeah, I really do admire the hard-working effort the film's director they actually pretty much actually did, and yeah, actually works quite well. And of course, this movie for sure that I really do think is actually very nicely done, in my opinion, for sure. So yeah. At least it's what I can say, of course, that front. And of course, the cinematography, I have to say, that alone is also done very, very well, hands down. And I really do think each and every single camera shot they actually providing, hands down, is actually done very well. Like, I really do admire on what they've actually gone for, hands down, for sure. So yeah. And of course, the aim, I have to say, is actually cut up pretty good, for sure, through some really good cuts that they actually did here and there, hands down. That also does match with the film's pacing, for sure, to which that alone is also done pretty good, for sure. That I really do think they put a lot of hard-working effort on, for sure. So yeah. I guess with all those that I've actually mentioned, I think it will get you the idea of course, what I thought of this movie in a nutshell, for sure. So yeah, it's pretty much what I can say, of course, that front. Alright then, well, I guess with all that said and done, that's pretty much everything that I can say about this movie as a whole. So yeah, overall, the Toxic Avenger, well, pretty much in regards to the original hands down, it is still to this day such an 80s cult icon that we all know and love, and it's definitely the one thing that we all know pretty much when you think of the name Troma and Lloyd Kaufman in a nutshell, for sure. Well, I guess for this remake, I have to say, yeah, they really went all out, of course, this one for sure, and yeah, pretty much of anything, I think it is actually a very solid remake, in my opinion, for sure. Everything that I've actually mentioned, for sure, for while I do think some parts of it could have been done a whole lot better, for sure, the rest, I have to say, is also done pretty well, in my opinion, and it not only results in, of course, a movie that pretty much does do a job, pretty much the job well in doing its own thing, but also have the same charm and love of course, the original hands down, which I know is pretty much what we all want with a really good remake, for sure. And this movie really did the job pretty well, for sure. So yeah. Either way, I guess pretty much of anything, I know I will still always love the original for what it is, hands down. And yeah, I guess to me, I definitely think the remake is on that same level, for sure. Yeah, pretty much of anything, I really do admire on what they actually did, hands down. And I do applaud the people making this movie to yeah, and of course, what it has provided, hands down, and yeah, in the end, I did have a good time seeing it, for sure. So yeah, pretty much of anything given to what I've actually mentioned, I do highly recommend this movie, for sure. Yeah, pretty much of anything, I really do admire it as much as I admire the original, for sure. And yeah, it pretty much gave me exactly what I'm hoping for, hands down, for sure. And of course, being a remake to a 80s cult classic, for sure. So So yeah, pretty much of anything, I really do think they did an impressive job on, of course, that front. And yeah, I think this movie is well worth the watch, in my opinion, for sure. So yeah, pretty much of anything, it's pretty much what I can say, of course, that front. So yeah, if that's something up your alley and you want to experience it for yourself, then by all means, I do think it's actually well worth the recommendation on my part, for sure. So yeah, trust me when I say that it may come close to being one of the best movies I've actually seen, but I really do think it is actually a really good one that's well worth the watch, for sure. So yeah. And if that's something up your alley, then I say this is actually well worth checking out, for sure. Trust me when I say that, much like the Toxic Avenger, for sure, this remake by far is definitely pretty much the one movie that we can all say that it is actually as good as the original, for sure. So yeah, if that's something up your alley, then, well, I say this is certainly one mess that is deserving to be cleaned up into something really quite nice, hands down. And this movie is indeed pretty much a very nice remake, nonetheless. So yeah, that's pretty much what I can say, of course, that front. So yeah, for my final score, yeah, I guess I'm being nice on, of course, this one, and I'm giving it 8.5 out of 10 as my final score. Like I said, I really enjoyed it as much as I enjoyed the original, for sure. And yeah, for while I will say that there are a few bumps here and there that could have been improved on, for sure, I really do think it is actually as good as the original, for sure. And yeah, actually does result in a pretty good and very nice remake for what it is, for sure. So yeah, and if that's something up your alley, then I say definitely give this movie a watch. I think you're going to be in for something really quite interesting, for sure. So yeah, that's pretty much what I can say, of course, that front, for sure. So yeah. Alright, so I guess with all that said and done, that's pretty much everything that I can say about this movie as a whole. So yeah, thank you guys so much for watching this latest thoughts video, and by all means, I want to ask all of you guys, what do you think of the Toxic Avenger remake? If you've actually seen it for yourself, do you absolutely really enjoyed it like I did and think it's as good as the original, or do you absolutely hate it and think it betrays everything that was great about the original? Or are you somewhere in between where you think it's just alright, for sure? So yeah, let me know down in the comments down below on what you thought of this movie for yourself. I would love to know on what you guys think, for sure. So yeah, that's pretty much what I can say, of course, that front. Thank you guys so much for watching this latest thoughts video, and while seeing how September has already begun, for sure, we'll definitely see what comes around, hands down, for sure. I know I've got plenty of stuff planned out, for sure. So I'll be sure to keep you guys updated to see on what comes up next, for sure. So yeah, but until then, thank you guys so much for watching, and as always, I'll see you in the next video. Take care. Special thanks to all of my supporters on Patreon for making today's video possible, including my top tier supporters for this month, VD. So if you want to be like these guys and show your support to us, then go to patreon.com/AckleyattackTV to pledge now, do so, and get some awesome rewards within your budget. Hey guys, this is Ackleyattack4427 here. Thank you all so much for watching today's video. Feel free to like, comment, and share if you enjoy what you're seeing. If you like what you see here and want to see more videos coming up, then go ahead and hit that subscribe button and switch on the notification bell to get notifications, and select all notifications to be notified for when we post a new video. And don't forget to switch on notifications on your phone as well. Also, don't forget to check out my second channel and our 2-member channel with SamAttack4427's, SamAttack4427TheThomasFan1 Productions, for plenty more content you can't find on here. You can check both of our channels out with the links or by our handles provided on screen. feel free to shoot me an email with my email address provided, backley95@hotmail.com, if you want to ask me a question, want to collab with me for a project you've got in the works, or if you want to book me to be featured for a convention coming up. Follow me on my social media pages on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram to keep up to date with me on updates, announcements, and new releases of my videos, as well as plenty of others I've got with my handles provided, as well as the links down in the description box below. Also, don't forget to follow me on TikTok for other videos I've got aside from the ones I've posted on YouTube, and on Twitch for any future live streams I've got coming up soon, as well as join our official Discord server to see what we've provided. If you wish to show your support to me, then feel free to check out my Patreon to get sneak peeks of my videos coming up before they go up online, as well as getting access to updates and playing more, in addition to getting some awesome rewards within your budget. Also, don't forget to check out and show your support to me on my wishlist on Amazon, and even supporting me at streamlabs.com/Ackleyattack4427's that you can find in the description box below, as well as on my Twitch page. And in case you can't find any of the links that are provided, then not to worry about a thing. All the links and stuff are also provided on my link tree that you can also find in the description box below, as well as a few selected number of my social media pages. Other than that, thank you all so much for watching, and I'll be sure to see you in the next video. Take care.